position themselves and really get a nice gank off on that counter ward. Well, whereas this time, ILX actually had that offensive ward. You see it over there, and they were able to see KDE coming in, and because of it, we're able to, as a group, get out and avoid any sort of ganking that went on. Whereas at the same time, right now they're able to, while that top is being pushed, they're able to farm the forest, possibly push bottom, and take Kongor at their leisure, really due to, vision of the map. See, now that the rest of the KDE team is behind, they did have to defend that top. They can start going on Kongor again, but they still have the vision ready up. So when KD comes, as they are doing, they can back out just like that. So, really important. Nice to see the ILX learns from their warding mistakes.
Definitely. We see all 5 heroes for this Hellborn side coming back. Are they looking to force 5v5s only, or are they kind of over maybe trying to get picks, especially against this Fade that's just doing an unbelievable amount of damage? But, oh wow, actually on the top 6, so the lane might get pushed here. Fade going to take care of that one. But, ooh, Kongor pickup maybe here. And we do see Kabapo using a creep to try and scout that Kongor. And the Rocket is going to see the fact that they are doing Kongor, but Fade nowhere near. This is not looking good. Are they going to be able to burn this Kongor down before Fade goes off? And it does look as though Chipper can cause some serious havoc with some rockets in his ult here. But he may actually be caught, and he is completely caught. Ult going down, Barry Auto going off, Angie ult going off, Shrunken Head and Turret going down for Engineer. Zephyr is Sheep, not doing a whole lot. Chipper, though, is going to go down. It looks like Ophelia ult going off, killing everybody, and just trying to do a lot of damage. Overpower and Parker both picking up kills here. We do see Fade coming in, trying to do some damage, but he may actually be running away now. And we do see D-Sham trying to get away, and a multicast coming off 4x on the Glacius by Blacksmith, so he's going to drop even though he tried to ulti. Engie's going to go down as well to the D-Sham Hag combo, and Ophelia and Fade trying to get out, and it does look as though Hag comes forward, gets a slow on Fade. Fade, did she just, no, she blew a stun. I thought for a second she might have ulted. Hat trick coming up for this Wretched Hag, and D-Sham, Frostro play going off by Wretched Hag. Zephyr coming in as well.
Did Zephyr buy back?
This will be a genocide.
Zephyr did buy back.
Now
that was a
buyback. Go ahead.
And I think that right there is what you would call the GG push, as the Hellborn just genocided with the Zephyr buyback. That's what he was saving up for. He had 8,000 gold before that happened, so the Zephyr buyback definitely won the game for him.
Wow, unbelievable game. You really got to hand it to that Wretched Hag coming in with one of the best Wretched Hags I think we've ever seen, arguably the best. And, wow, overall, just really even, really long game, really back and forth action, great movement early, real fun to cast. I'm definitely going to have to go drink some more water because of that, so. But, yeah, I mean, overall, thoughts on the game. Let's go down the list of Viscerus.
Yeah, I think that both teams played really, really well. I think what the deciding factor was there was that the early game advantage that the Legion had wasn't focused on Zephyr, and so the Legion just didn't have as good scalability. Fade and Engineer alone couldn't take out Hag and Zephyr, especially when they got that early game token. That was just absolutely nuts. So I think that was really just a small, minor mistake in strategy and play calling right there that, when two teams are that evenly matched in terms of skill and picks, you could even say something that small is usually a deciding factor.
Kazor, anything to add?
Yeah, I'm pretty much agree with whatever Viscerus said. It was pretty exciting games, a lot of ganks, a lot of counter warding, a lot of warding. But I think this ELX team, they really surprised me actually. I was thinking that KD being favorites for it, but the ELX team really did a good job by just turtling out all of those early burst damage and just sticking to the plan, getting Sapphire farmed and winning the game later on.
Let's go to Impulse.
I'd have to say that KD Gaming, I think, should have won. I'm going to be honest here. KD Gaming should have won. They outplayed IDX, or I can't even remember their names right now. Such ILX, yes. They outplayed ILX in almost every team fight. I mean, you have four heroes, excuse me, four heroes that have next to no scalability, and you're keeping pace with 3 or 4 scaling heroes on the Hellborn side 60 minutes in. I mean, that just shows you who the better players are in terms of actual game skill. Now, in terms of picking and item pickups, that is a different story, I'm going to say. They picked wrong. I'm going to say they didn't pick a strong enough scaling hero to keep up late game. They didn't pick up the correct items. Fade's items are a perfect example of what you shouldn't do. I mean, this is a case of exceptional execution, but bad planning.
And Cap?
You know what? I gotta say, all around, I think the biggest beef I had, like I was talking about earlier, this difference between European and American Han, the play style. I really would have liked, especially to see an Ophelia engineer. I would have liked to see just to burst down some of those first tier towers a little bit faster. Take a little bit more map control, and overall a little bit more offensive warding from both teams would have been a bit more ideal, especially keeping down that Zephyr, as we've all said earlier. They didn't keep down the Zephyr quite as well as they should have with those ganks. They were doing really well with ganking, just not the right heroes. Well, a great way of keeping down a Zephyr from farming is to take down those outer towers and really limit the map a lot, or which forces him to either forest or possibly overextend himself with a large amount of lack of map vision. So next time I'd like to see that from KDE. Especially if you're running a Ophelia engineer, both have some nice pushing potential to them. But all around, yeah, I think it was a very well played game by both teams. And KD, probably just like Impulse said, probably a little bit stronger picks. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, I guess my final words is instead of bashing on KDE and all the mistakes they seem to have made throughout the game, I'd like to congratulate ILX on a game extremely well played. As you said, both teams did play, exceptionally good, and I mean they're top Euro teams for a reason. But it did seem like KDE might have made a couple more mistakes. But like I said, I'd really like to congratulate ILX. I think that their Zephyr item choice was superb. I think that their overall execution and team fights were really well done. I think that all around ILX played pretty solid and played to their strengths. They kept that Zephyr alive as much as they could. KDE might have obviously been able to gank him a little bit better, but they used their mobility to try and keep Zeph alive. Even when there were early ganks, Zephyr was getting out, even if they might take a 2-1 or a 3-2 disadvantage in the gank. So overall, Zeph did what he needed to do, and ILX played to their strengths, and I really think they came in and won that game for themselves. So, any last words from anybody, or are we signing out?
Epic games are
I
epic.
think we're good.
Yeah, right.
I like animal crackers.
Alright guys, well thanks for tuning in to another Cybernetics TV cast. We hope you enjoyed it. Yet again, stay tuned. Hopefully we'll bring you some more Han coverage, and if there's any positive critique, any constructive criticism that you have for us, whether it be the camera, the commentators, obviously don't just tell me I'm bad, but if you guys have any requests as well, please let us know. So this is Insane Rabbi from Cybernetics TV. Joining me today was Eviscerus, Kaiser Vision, The Capitalist, Xenome, our tech guy, and Impulse. So thanks to everybody for joining us today, and hopefully tune in next time for another episode of Cybernetics TV.